Welcome into the Alabama Football Report. I am your host today, Chris Daughtry. And before we get into today's show, I want to ask you guys to share this video. Let all your Alabama friends know on social media that Kalen DeBoer and this Alabama staff is absolutely going crazy on the recruiting trail right now. You know what? Share it with your non-Alabama fan friends as well. Let them know that those Husky Harsin claims that everybody said Kalen DeBoer wasn't going to be able to recruit in the SEC and in the South aren't necessarily going to be true, because Alabama today has landed yet another four-star recruit in the 2025 class, that being interior offensive lineman Michael Carroll. Carroll took a visit to Alabama this past weekend, and in the past 2 weeks now, Alabama has landed three really big-name recruits in this 2025 class coming out of those official visits. Carroll, four-star recruit, number 186 overall, number 8 interior offensive lineman, and the number 5 player from the state of Pennsylvania. These rankings are coming from the 247 Sports Composite rankings, which kind of, in their own algorithm, takes all the recruiting sites, puts them together, just kind of like an average for those. But on 3, way ahead of the game when it comes to Carroll. They've got him ranked as the number 27 overall player in this class. So, if they're doing the top 32 players or 5 stars, he is definitely going to be in that 5-star, category. Some of the things I like about Carroll, he's just absolutely relentless when it comes to, especially run blocking. And in high school, he's played on the offensive side of the ball and on the defensive line as well. And I think when you're watching some of his film on the defensive side of the ball, you really love what you see, being able to chase down, some of those running backs, some of those faster guys, quarterbacks, being able to chase them down as a kid, that's going to be on the offensive line. I think that translates well over to the offensive side of the ball when it comes to that athleticism. He explodes out of his stance when he's coming from that pulling guard position. He pulls so fast and just absolutely mauls guys in the running game. There's not a lot of pass protection highlights on his huddle page, but you get him in here. That was still his junior season, so I think his high school just runs the ball a lot. So once he gets here to Alabama, they're going to work on that a lot. So I'm not too worried about that at all. And with this commitment, the 247 Sports Composite recruiting rankings, Alabama, we said yesterday, was up to number 4. Well, this commitment brings them up to number 3 in those recruiting rankings for the 2025 recruiting class. So I want you guys to grade the commitment right now of Michael Carroll. Get in the comments for me, A, B, C, D, or F. It is the pinned comment on today's video. So, what that means? If that ad comes here on YouTube, that's fine. Ignore it. Go down to the pinned comment and reply to me. Grade the commitment of Michael Carroll, A, B, C, D, or F. Now, this video was supposed to be originally 3 different guys predicted to Alabama. Michael Carroll ended up committing this morning, so we'll just keep the rest of the guys. Mal Waldrep here, another offensive lineman. 247 Sports has him as an offensive tackle, the number 40 offensive tackle in this class. But, from the reporting from BamaOnLine as well as 247 Sports, seems like Alabama really likes him as an interior offensive lineman as well. Number 497 overall, number 21 from the state of Alabama. But both Steve Wiltfong of On3 and Andrew Bone of BamaOnLine have both placed official predictions for Waldrep to commit to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, On3 also, instead of ranking him as a tackle, they've ranked him as an interior offensive lineman. They've got him as the number 39 interior offensive lineman in this class. I think Waldrep, even though he is a 3-star, being ranked a little bit lower, I really like his first step when in pass protection. He gets that first step really quickly and heavy hands when he hits the defender coming in. You can see a significant jolt when it comes to the defender when those guys make contact. He finishes blocks. He's got really, really good balance. He's in control. He's not just kind of going crazy with his hands or anything like that. There are a few plays where he did win reps, and I want to preface this too with, when we're watching the huddle film, you see the highlights. You see the best plays from his junior season, so you're not really getting the bad reps. But if you want to nitpick just a little bit, there's some reps he definitely wins, but it kind of looks like he's going through the motions a little bit just because he knows he's better than the defender that he's going against. So, every now and then you see those, but for the most part, he's winning pretty much like all the reps that he takes in pass pro and in run blocking, just driving guys to the ground. He's 6'5", 320 pounds. So, whether he's playing tackle or on the interior, I think that bodes well for him and for Alabama. And also of note, his father is a former Alabama player. Played from 1998 to 2002. And Waldrep plans on committing on July the 10th. So not too far away, just about a month out to the day. So we will see what happens in his recruitment coming up here soon. Make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. We're bringing you videos, 4 or 5 videos every single week. I also want to start giving more shout-outs to the people who have subscribed here recently to the Alabama Football Report. So Derek, Cool Guy, Billy, Alec, Curtis, we appreciate all of you guys for subscribing right here to the Alabama Football Report. This is what Mal Waldrep told on 3 after his official visit this past weekend at Alabama. They asked him, where does Alabama sit in your recruitment? And also, how was the trip? This is what he said. He said, Alabama is number 1 right now. It was absolutely amazing. I enjoyed every minute of it. The staff and the players really showed me the opportunities that were available here and really bonded over the weekend. It was an incredible experience. Make sure you guys go check out Fanatics. They are our sponsor today on the Alabama Football Report. Go to chatsports.com/NFL jerseys and get those jerseys from former Alabama players now in the NFL. They've got J.C. Latham, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Tyrion Arnold, Dallas Turner, any of those guys that were drafted in this past year's draft, and even before that, you can go and find any of the former Alabama football players on Fanatics. That's chatsports.com/NFL jersey, and you should, right over there in that corner, there should be a link as well that you guys can click on. Just go over there, click the link, filter whoever you want, type in, whatever player jersey that you are looking for, and it should pop up for you guys. One more time for you, that's chatsports.com/NFL jersey. That link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. The next prediction that we want to get into today is 4-star linebacker Dawson Merritt. There's been 4 official predictions for him from On 3. Derek Young and Mason Voth both are the Kansas State reporters for On 3. So Merritt being from Kansas, I think, they've got a little bit in there. They both predicted him to Alabama, as well as Steve Wiltfong and Chad Simmons. So 2 of the national reporters for On 3 have predicted him to Alabama. He took a visit this past weekend, and by all accounts, it sounded like it went pretty well. That happens like all the time. You go to Tuscaloosa. It's awesome there, especially with the facilities and everything and this new coaching staff. Seems like everybody has a good time, but he is a 4-star recruit, number 92 overall, the number 11 linebacker in this class, and the number 3 player from the state of Kansas. Right now it has been between Alabama and Nebraska, and I think what Matt Rule has done at Nebraska, getting a lot of big-time recruits coming there, I wouldn't rule them out necessarily, but, with these predictions coming in now, it seems like Alabama is in a good spot for his recruitment. He plays in a lot of different kind of positions. He plays right there on the edge, on the line, and he also plays out in space in coverage. There's a few times where he's playing right there on the edge, and they're doing a read option, and he is the read guy. He's got the quickness to be able, because, he's got the quarterback, coming off the snap. So he's got to break down and make sure the quarterback doesn't keep it. But he also has that speed. When the quarterback hands the ball off, he catches up to the running back. He's able to chase him down and get those tackles for losses. So I really like what I see from Dawson Merritt on his film. And this is what he had to say about his official visit to Alabama this past weekend. He said, "My time at Alabama was beyond amazing. I mean, with Coach Kalen DeBoer, C-Rob, that's Christian Robinson, the linebacker coach for Alabama, Kane Womack, to the players and the support staff, everyone has recruited me so hard, which is really amazing coming from such a historic program like Alabama." He also went on to say, "The thing that excites me the most is the class that Alabama's bringing in with the 2025s. It's going to be very special." And now, because I'm just a little bit of a petty person and I found this really funny, I went to his Twitter page and I went through his likes, and 17 hours ago, probably 18 hours ago now, that that we're filming this video, but this guy, Caden Friel, I guess, a Nebraska fan, he was commenting on an article about his visit to Alabama and just obviously did not like anything in the article. He's past him now. They're going after different guys. They're good. And Dawson Merritt liked all those tweets. So I found that pretty funny. And from a player's perspective, you're seeing that. You're seeing, some of these guys, some of these people on Twitter, he might take it with a grain of salt. But I found it very funny that he went out of his way to like every single one of those tweets. So who do you guys think will land Dawson Merritt here in the 2025 recruiting class? Type A for Alabama or N for Nebraska. Let me know in the comments section right now. The last player we want to discuss today, Steve Wiltfong of On3 reporting this morning that four-star linebacker Ty Jackson has officially made plans to visit both Florida and Alabama. Florida coming on June 14th and Alabama coming on June 21st. And what I found super interesting about Jackson's profiles is that they are massively different when it comes to 247 Sports and On3. On3 has him as the number one ranked linebacker in this class. And, I went back and watched some of his film. He's definitely up there. He's a very, highly ranked guy. 247 Sports has him as the 20th ranked linebacker in this class. So I don't know if they just haven't updated the rankings yet or if they're not seeing what the guys at On3 are seeing, but two massively different rankings. Overall ranking as well, On3 has him as the 20th ranked player in this class, which once you get to some of those final recruiting rankings, he would end up being a 5-star. 247 Sports has him at 195 right now, number 24 in the state, as well as On3 has him the number 3 player in the state. So, I really, really liked what I saw from Ty Jackson. This kid is a violent tackler. I mean, he hits people with the intention of taking their heads off, taking their helmets off. He's a super athlete, 125 tackles this past season, 5 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions. On his huddle profile, it says he had 10 touchdowns this past year. He lined up at wide receiver. He was taking kickoffs back for touchdowns. So this kid is just an overall athlete that, I cannot wait for Alabama to get on campus. And, fingers crossed, hopefully they can get him in this recruiting class.